I'm going to get my hair done today and I have the urge to just do something crazy. It's like that whole TikTok trend was when she's like, don't do it, don't do it. And then it shows her in the video, next clip, and it's like, I did it. That's me right now. But probably not going to do it. I'm probably just going to get my blonde redone and touched up. But let's talk about something I think that's really important that keeps coming up and I hear people say, and that's about letting winners run and letting losers run and what that looks like and means. So one thing about trading that's very interesting, and if you're a newer trader, maybe this hasn't happened to you yet, but as you progress within your trading, you'll notice something about yourself and about the psychology of trading. And almost every single person I've ever talked to over the past 6 years does this. And it's they will cut their winners short and not let them run, but they will let their losers run, meaning they'll sit in a losing trade way longer than they will ever sit in their winning trade. And how do you fix that, right? What is a good way to mitigate that so you stop doing that? I know a lot of people do it, and the psychology that goes behind it is really interesting about how you perceive the money that you're winning and the idea of it going away while you're in a winning trade. So let's get into it. So if you didn't know this, trading unlocks like the same fear behavior as if you were like in physical danger. So in your brain, right? That's how it works. So when you have money at risk that you've just made, you're more likely to cut the trade short because that fear in your brain is setting in and telling you time to protect at whatever cost. We're protecting, right? And it's not thinking logical. It's coming from that fear standpoint. Now, on the other hand, when we're in the losing trade, you're locking in that pain. So you're essentially locking in the fear, right? You're locking it in, and also you're not willing to admit defeat, right? You're not willing to let your ego say, okay, yeah, you know what? I was wrong. I'm just going to close my trade. But logically doing that in the matter sometimes of a minute, 30 seconds, maybe even sometimes, or maybe say you've let your trades run in the wrong direction for over like 20, 30 minutes, right? That's you not willing to admit defeat. That's you not willing to accept the fear, the rationality, right? So how do you mitigate that? And we talked a little bit about this morning. And if you're somebody who finds yourself doing this, and this is not financial advice, right? If you find yourself doing this, one thing I found early on in my trading was to set ATM strategies or bracket orders. Why? Because it forced me to close the trade or take the profit when it was due to take the profit. So for me, when I went through like losing streaks, for instance, I would set ATM strategies that would force me to have a stop loss, right? I wouldn't be able to move stops because I set my ATM strategy, and that is that. And then take profit only when it hit my take profit. And mind you, I made these small, right? The take profits I made small because when you go on a losing streak, you tend to lose confidence, right? So you lose that execution that you once had and you lose that confidence. So you have to be able to build that back, and building that back comes with execution, right? So it's a really interesting psychological thing that happens. And the more you understand, right? When you're going through something, regardless of what it is, on or off the charts, in your daily life, wherever this comes from, stems from, if you can pinpoint it and you can start to figure out, okay, this is what it is, how do I move forward from here, right? Figuring out those key pieces, and I always call it a puzzle, figuring out those key pieces to the puzzle helps you in the long run figure out how to stop doing it. So I hope that was helpful. I'm going to go get my hair done now. I'll show you guys what it looks like when I'm done.